Coming up, tariff explanations and childish reactions, and the White House's masterful response to an infantile Democrat campaign, and intelligence agencies, the swamp is worse than expected. Have a look at a genuinely cringeworthy campaign by the Democrats. I don't know who these childish Democrats think that they're appealing to. They look incredibly awkward, and one thing is certain: potent fighters that you would want as your avatar in a game is not what they are. They would be wiped out right at the beginning of the game. They have no more clue here than they do in their day jobs. Meanwhile, the White House has a masterful response that completely owned these insipid Metro Democrat politicians. Absolutely brilliant. Even if you were a Democrat, do you seriously see these people as fighters or adults behaving like children? What it reminds me of is when I did religious studies when I was 6, and I learned about spies going into Jericho. I had an illustrated children's Bible, and I found a picture of the spies, and I insisted my mother cut up a sheet to make a similar costume so that I could play the part of an Israelite spy. This is the level that these people are taking to, and they want to be taken seriously and get people to vote for them. If you enjoy this content, please like, share and subscribe. Then we have Byron Donalds on tariffs.
Well, look, I'm going to repeat myself a little bit here.
Okay.
It is important that we stabilize not just our economic relationships around the globe, but also the fact that we got to secure our border and we got to stop the flow of fentanyl. Give Donald Trump the opportunity to actually negotiate with the Mexican president and with Canada and with China. You got to give him that opportunity. Because when prices were rising in the United States, I didn't hear CNN talking about that much. As a matter of fact, you ignored most of it while it was hurting the American people. So let the president negotiate on tariff policy. That is what he's doing, and it's going to work out to the better. You didn't cover it the way it needed to be covered. Let's just be perfectly honest.
Okay, well, that's
you let the last administration get away with it, but the American people suffered as a result.
But
no, it's not my opinion. That's a fact.
Okay, no, it's not a fact.
Donalds talks about fentanyl flowing across the border. He says that Trump should be given the time to conduct the negotiations necessary on fentanyl and tariffs, and that it is the job of the media to report on the facts fairly. It is amusing how the CNN interviewer goes into hyper-defensive mode on the issue of failure to properly hold the Biden administration to account on economic issues. Legitimate media organisations don't see fit to go about defending themselves on attacks from politicians. They believe that their work is its own reply. The visceral strength of this reply indicates clearly that this interviewer actually knows that they didn't do what was required in regard to the Biden administration. Then we have Newt Gingrich on tax cuts.
If you build a new factory and you're going to get the 100% expensing, and you probably would get the 15% made in America tax rate, that will be fully expensed and written off retroactively, Newt. That's fabulous. I didn't know that. That just slipped out in the Scott Bessent thing today.
Well, let me tell you an example of learning from history. As you'll remember, in the 1981 tax cut, that didn't go into effect till January of 1983.
Right.
So 82, we have a deeper recession because everybody's waiting to get the tax break the next year. These guys are very smart about the kind of incentives, and you've seen it, by the way, when you look at the number of companies that have already announced that they're going to invest in America. The first couple of weeks of the Trump administration, I have no doubt that by the end of this year, if we can get the bill passed by May or June, you will see literally trillions of dollars of commitment to new factories, new jobs, new opportunities, higher incomes, much safer pensions, and frankly, an ability to pay for Social Security.
That was an interesting factoid about the beginning of the Reagan administration. The issue is announcing tax cuts but delaying their implementation, which means businesses will delay implementing, for example, starting to build a new factory as they want to wait for the tax cuts to take effect. The fact that Trump has announced the implementation date and backdated it to the 20th of January, the day he took office, means that businesses will feel confident to take action immediately, which will considerably help the economy and the economic bottom line. Scott Bessent also talks on tariffs.
As President Trump has said many times, tariff is his favorite word. I would say that reciprocal is probably his second favorite word. And I think we have to be open to the idea. If you want to be a numbskull like Justin Trudeau and say, oh, we're going to do this, then tariffs are going to go up. But if you want to sit back, have a discussion with the Commerce Department, USTR, they all have my phone number too. I am happy to have a discussion with our foreign counterparts that says that here's what we think you were doing. And the tariffs are the actual easy part. Because we know India does this on U.S. motorcycles. Germany does this or EU does this on American cars. That's a quantitative number.
Bessent makes the point that the best thing that foreign nations can do is negotiate with the US about tariffs and what can be done to potentially remove them. As I've said before, the threat of the tariffs can and hopefully will lead to the elimination of tariffs by both sides. And these tariffs are easy to quantify. As Bessent said, that is the way to go about business unless you're a numbskull like Justin Trudeau. And speaking of the numbskull,
on a personal level, I've made sure that every single day in this office, I put Canadians first, that I have people's backs. And that's why I'm here to tell you all that we got you. Even in the very last days of this government, we will not let Canadians down today and long into the future.
Man-child Trudeau, all confected, teary-eyed look, or perhaps he really is crying, given his terrible job as Canadian Prime Minister, promises to look out for and act for all Canadians. The reality is, as everyone knows with Trudeau, that he's only all in it together if you follow his diktats. If not, he will take action as he has in the past, for example, of stopping people from accessing their own money. That is not very all in it together. Then we have Scott Jennings questioning Democrat Representative Marilyn Strickland.
Why would or should the American people trust Democrats to lower the cost of living after the last 4 years?
We have created more jobs.
No, cost of living. You brought it up. You said Trump's not delivering. I just want to know why we should trust Democrats who skyrocketed inflation. Why would I trust you?
I don't think it's
why
about,
would I trust you?
I don't think it's about, you all won.
Yeah.
So now fix it. You said you were going to fix it.
Wait,
now,
we're doing it for 40 days.
Okay.
Jennings asks why Democrats should be trusted on cost of living issues when they were so bad during the Biden years. Of course, being a Democrat, there is the usual dodging by Strickland. She brought up cost of living, got nailed on it, and then tries changing the subject. And then we have the argument that the Republicans are in power and should fix it. their responsibility, and there should have been a magic fix, presumably on day one. Then Tulsi Gabbard talks about what she has found with the intelligence agencies.
From a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being worse than you thought, how swampy is the intel community? 1 to 10.
You know, I knew it was bad coming in. It's worse than I thought in a lot of different ways. I'd love to come back and talk to you as we pull back the layers, really, of getting rid of the weaponization within the intelligence community, the politicization, and those who are, frankly, trying to shape intelligence according to their own view or their own agenda, rather than just providing our policymakers and the president with that unbiased, accurate, timely intelligence that they need to make their decisions.
Gabbard says that the politicisation of the intelligence agencies is far worse than she thought. And she had realised that there were problems with the intelligence agencies in this regard going in. This politicisation of intelligence agencies is very bad news. They need to provide unbiased intelligence. The problem with the politicisation can be seen with the Ukraine war, for example, where for over 2 years they have stated that Russia is on its knees, where clearly that was not the case. They still maintain that position today. But why should they be trusted when they've got it so wrong, clearly pushing a political agenda about supporting Ukraine? Now, what do you think of the issues of tariffs and their implementation? Please let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching.